Alright, you guys, so this is module 7 review, solving linear equations. 7.1 is we're going to see equations with variables on both sides. So remember, we want to put all the variables on one side and all the constants on the other side. So I'm going to move this a right here. Remember, this is basically just 1a. So I'm going to subtract a. I'm going to subtract a. And then I end up with 3a minus 4 equals 8. I'm going to move this 4. So I'm going to do the opposite operation, which is to add. That goes away. Then I have 3a equals 8 plus 4 is 12. Last step is to divide. So I end up with a equals to 4. And just to check, I can plug it back in and see if that's true. 7.2 is equations with rational numbers. So in this case, we have a decimal. Don't be afraid. It's the same thing. We have to move the variables on one side, constants on the other side. So I just have to isolate them. I'm going to move this one right here because that way I don't end up with a negative. Remember, when we subtract or add decimals, we have to line up our decimals. So then end up with 3.25 equals 1 plus, and then 5 minus 0 is 5, and then I have to borrow here. That becomes a 12. So I end up with this, okay? And then I'm going to subtract the 1 right here. Remember, I have to line up my decimals. There's a decimal at the very end of decimal point at the very end of 1. I don't see it, but there's 1. So I have 2.25 equals 0.75x. Last step is to divide by 0.75, 75 hundredths. So remember, first one goes in the house. Remember, I cannot have decimals as my divisor outside the house. So I'm going to move this twice to the right. What I do to the outside, I have to do to the inside. So I end up with 225 divided by 75. How many times does 75 go into 2? None. 22, none. 225. I'm going to try maybe 3. And I'm going to do it your way. That way you don't get confused. Perfect. So then this way is x equals to 3. Okay. Number 7.3, lesson 7.3 is equations with distributed property. So here I can do it two ways. I can distribute the 1/4 here, but because I don't want to deal with fractions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by my common factor, or use one factor because factor by my common denominator, or use denominator because I only have one right here. So I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 4. Remember, when I do this, I only multiply by the number outside in this case. So then I end up with 1x minus 7. I'm going to multiply by 4 on this side as well. So I end up with 4. So I have to do it to each one of those terms. So then I do 4 plus 12x. So I have x minus 7 equals 4 plus 12x. Move my x. Negative 7 equals 4 plus 11x minus 4 minus 4. Negative 11 equals 11x. Divide by 11, divide by 11, x equals negative 1. And I am done. Okay. Number 7.5, it was equations with many or no solutions. So let me move this one right here so we can actually see it and not get confused. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the 5. So end up with 5x minus 15 plus 6 equals 5x minus 9. I'm going to combine this right here, which is going to be negative 9 equals 5x minus 9. Some of you do not need to go any further because you can right away tell that they are the same equation. So that's going to be an infinite number of solutions. But if you forgot, then I can move my 5x minus 5x, end up with negative 9 equals negative 9, which is the same number. So that's an infinite number of solutions. Okay. Remember, if you end up with a number equals a different number, that will be no solution. And whenever you end up with x equals a very specific number, or a variable is equals to a specific number, that's going to be one solution. Okay. God bless you. Bye-bye.